Hello, hello, brothers and sisters. Come on in. It's dinner time. Come on in. Come on in. Sit around the table because it's dinner time. And guess who's going to have dinner with us tonight? She's here at the dinner table. How you doing, Sister Angela?
Fine. How you doing?
Fine, you fine, you fine. Good, good, good. Brothers and sisters, come on in. It's dinner time. We're going to have some good soul food tonight. I hope that you all are ready to get into it. How you doing? How you doing? Sister Flo says she can't hear you that good, Angela.
She can't see me that good.
She can't hear you that good. She can't hear you that good. Turn the volume up.
It's all the way up.
Okay, Sister Flo, what you need to hear? Do you need to hear Angela or you need to hear me? Which one is it? Which one is it, Sister Flo? Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Or was it too far?
I can hear you. I don't know who else can hear you. Okay, how you doing, family out there? How you doing? How you doing? Can you hear clearly? Sister Flo, can you hear now? Can you hear, Sister Flo? Thumbs up if you can hear, Sister Flo. Thumbs up. Can you hear, Sister Flo? Come on in, brothers. Come on in, sisters. It's dinner time. It's dinner time. If you can't hear, let us know before we can get into it. We're ready to get into it. I hope that you brothers and sisters had a good evening tonight. Your brother Tony, oh, thank you, Sister Flo. Your brother Tony is in the house, and I got a good meal for you all tonight, and I hope that you all are ready. Angela have been invited in. How you doing? How you doing, everyone? Come on in. If this is your first time looking at this broadcast, allow me to introduce myself. Okay, thank you, Sister Flo. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and my guest is Angela Bronner. And the rest of your family and friends, come on in. Come on, bring some of your friends in. Share. We got plenty of room at the table. Bring them on in. Bring them on in. If this is your first time looking at the broadcast, allow me to tell you what we're going to talk about. But before we talk about that, we basically come from a position of men and women that should be serious, that should move to a commitment and a covenant relationship. We believe strongly in the position of a man and woman from a biblical perspective. God created the man Adam. He created the woman Eve. And that's what we base a role with. But if you're interested in any other type of relationship, you have what is called a free will. You choose to do whatever you want to do with your free will. But if you're looking at this particular broadcast, I just want you to be informed that we basically talk about the relationship between that of a man and a woman. And with that said, Angela, are you starving, Angela? You got some room to eat, Angela?
I got plenty of room to eat. I just need something on my lips. Look at him.
Okay, go ahead and put it on with your bad self. Go ahead, go ahead. And
don't hate.
While Angela doing that, we are going to talk about the topic. What happens when he watches too much porn and she gets that rose? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. What happens when he watches too much porn and she gets that rose? Now, masturbation. We're going to look at what masturbation is. Masturbation is defined as an act or practice of self-stimulation of one's sexual organs. It is usually done with the goal of achieving sexual climax, sexual gratification, or the release of sexual tension, per se, Marvin Gaye. But that's what masturbation is. Now, there's one question that I'm going to put out there, but I'll come back to that later. Now the question is, does God approve of masturbation? I'm going to hold that to the end of the broadcast. We're going to answer that question later on in the broadcast. But for right now, we're going to the topic. What happens when he watches too much porn and she gets that role? Angela, what do you think about a man or woman self-satisfying his or herself?
You know, I never really thought about that.
Okay, think about it now. What do you think about a man or woman self stimulating his or herself?
Because I think you learn that pretty much at an early age.
What do you learn at an early age?
Self-stimulation, I guess, when they get to learning their own bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I'm frozen on one. Yeah, y'all see me?
I see you kind of
Okay.
freezing up.
Cause I was saying that because I'm on my other phone, I see you on this one. Okay, I see I'm back on the other one. Cause I was trying to have my other phone so I could read the comments.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't say whether I know I've heard it's wrong, you know. But I can't say, okay, thank you, Brenda. Um, what was I saying? Um, but I know it happens. I guess if your man ain't there or whatever, you know, your woman ain't there, you know, and I know
What
young
happened?
boys, you know,
What happened if your man or your woman not there? What happened?
What happened? What?
When your man and woman ain't in the picture?
I guess they satisfy themselves
Okay.
if they ain't in the picture, or if I ain't home.
Uh-huh. Well, should a woman have a problem with her man that watches porn?
I don't agree with it because I feel like it'll have them actually, and I'm gonna say from my perspective, I didn't, but my husband liked to watch. You know, when we went to the video store, got those movies, this, that, and the other, and I know they got that from their dad, Ashley, because I had been over there before, even though, you know, I don't know who might see this, but I went over there and I felt so uncomfortable because the dad had it in, you know, in the TV on there, and we walk in and the boys there, you know, they married. I'm like, seriously? Because I felt like that should be something that you and your wife do, and you a pastor in the privacy of your home. You know what I'm saying? So you could just imagine how I was ready to go. But see, he did. I allowed him to do that as long as I didn't feel like it was something on a regular basis to, you know, Ashley just, that's all they wanted, to where it was a habit. So I feel like to each his own. If that's something that a couple wants to do, I actually think it would be done together. Me, myself, I don't care for it.
Okay.
Because most of the time, it's women. Until one time I flipped the script. I got one with all men.
And what happened?
I started hollering like he be hollering and doing that. He did not like it. But
Okay.
boy, he had it going on though. Boy, Tony, he had it going on.
Okay, let me tell you that. Can you hear me clearly?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let me tell you that. When it comes to uh porn, let me just say this. When it comes to porn, when a man look at porn, what he sees is there's really no romance when it comes to porn. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just like he walk up to the lady, she walk in, and they just bam go at it. You know, like how animals go at it. You know, like
Yeah.
the male animal, he'll normally go sniff. You know, he'll go sniff and then he'll do his thing. But when it comes to porn, there's no type of, how shall I say?
Connection.
There's no
Uh-huh.
type of connection. It's just
Right.
basically physical. But you see, if a man continues to look at porn, this is what probably going to happen. When a man look at porn, he's going to get excited anyway. He's going to get
Mm-hmm.
excited because he's seeing a sexual act up there, right? And if the man is a man, he's going to he's going to go through some changes in his body, right? So he's looking at that image in front of him, and he thinking about what that other man doing to that lady, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he put himself in that position of that man that's doing it to that lady on the screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when that happens, more than likely he's gonna start self-stimulating himself. He's gonna put his hand down there and start, going to work, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the dangerous part about that is like this. It's just like, for example, like if someone get into like cocaine, okay, you might
Mm-hmm.
take that first hit, right? You take that first hit
Mm-hmm.
and you get that high and you think, oh, I can handle this. I don't see why no people have a problem with it. But you
Mm-hmm.
see, once you keep going back, you're not going to continue to get that certain type of high, right? So you
Right.
need more potent in it, or you're going to get some more, right? So what
Right.
happens? You keep going to get that high. You're never going to get that initial high, but you're going to try to duplicate it. So
Mm-hmm.
when you try to when it comes to porn, you might start soft core and then you eventually you're going to have to start getting hardcore, right? Now, the thing about it when it comes to a man and a woman, when a man and a woman have feelings and everything for each other when it comes to the sexual part, um, it could be more mental and more emotional into the act. But when a man start watching porn, eventually he's going to have a difficult time with his woman. He's going to have a difficult time because in his mind, he think about what he just seen on that screen, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
he look at his woman, and his woman is not doing those certain. More than likely, she's not doing those certain things that he just
Mm-hmm.
got finished watching. And so when he comes to the woman, and he used to the same thing over and over again, it to in his mind is kind of boring, right? And then me doing consultation, some men's that some women complain about it. Some men, Angela, actually, and some of your sisters out there, brother, some men they get to the point where they can't even do nothing with their women because um,
Right.
they have to depend on the porn.
Mm-hmm.
They really have to depend on the porn, and that could frustrate a woman too because the man should naturally have affection and stuff towards a woman, but once he start depending on porn, he can't do nothing. And some men they have to look at porn right before they get to the woman, and they got to look at it right before they get to the woman. Were you aware of that?
No, you teaching me
You
something. Even though they did it, but I guess because of who I am and you know, I'm a little different than most, even though I don't do a whole lot of stuff. But I am romantic and I knew how to maneuver things in that area to be
mm,
able to, have him to want me. So it wasn't that but I guess after a while, and I say this because that could have been because sometime he may have, and then when he went, you know, to his friends or to wherever he went, maybe they watched. I don't know. To the point that they decided they want to step outside the marriage. You understand what I'm saying? So I could say that, you know, if he's not mentally strong in that area to be able to do that, and it become habit forming, then I know we got a problem. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think he started, so I would know, and this probably be a lot of men too, is that phone, that cell device that you don't know that what they looking at, and you thinking they looking at something else. You know what I'm saying? And strolling. And I think that's how sometimes women may not know what they are doing, and because they're using. We used to seeing them. They get on Facebook or get on whatever else, or just look at stuff on their phone. So you want to know if that was the case.
Well, hypothetically speaking, Angela, hypothetically speaking,
Mm-hmm.
and I know you can't speak for every woman, but try to put yourself in a woman's place, okay?
Okay.
If the woman approach her husband and he's not that responsive to her, she noticed that there's a pattern change. You know what I mean? And she
Exactly.
want and she want to, you know, she want to have physical intimacy. Excuse me. She want to
Mm-hmm.
have physical intimacy with her husband, but
Right.
he doesn't respond to her. And whereas he used to be ready to go, it's like
Mm-hmm.
he's not like he used to be. You know what I mean? And
Uh-huh.
then when he gets a little charged up, and when he about to enter into the woman, he just go flat. He flatline. You know what I mean?
Shoot, what you mean flatline? He ain't finna get it up.
That's what I'm talking about when I said flatline, Angela.
Uh-huh.
He might halfway get firm to get ready, because we have to be a little firm to insert. You know what I
I
mean?
don't even think it get firm then at that point, bro. Not when they looking at that. I can't say that. I don't even think it get nowhere like firm. It just flatline. Period.
So if he flatline, what should that tell the woman?
That something else is different being done to his body.
Uh-huh.
Now I know that from experience. What you're not doing, and he's getting it elsewhere. And that's just being honest, because I know the signs.
Well, tell me this. How can you tell whether it's another woman or the porn?
Shoot. Um now that I can't tell you. Because at some point, they still will be able to do something, even if it's porn. If it's say, hold on a minute, go in the bathroom and look. You understand what I'm saying? If
Mm-hmm.
that's where they get it from. Now, if they're not doing, if nothing's not happening, and just like I said, if I got on my lingerie and my boots and I'm looking good, my hair freshly done, I'm smelling good and all of that, and it ain't rising to attention. Oh, something is most definitely wrong.
What you said, Andy, when you had your boots, you talk about your fireman boots, or what you talking about?
Child, I ain't talking about no, I'm talking about them long heel boots, them strong boots, honey. I don't blow.
I know, but I know some men, they could have medical issues. You know what I mean? Some men could have a impotent problem, but a lot of time it might not be no impotent problem. It could be whereas he just sneakily was looking at that porn, and he just don't have no use for no woman no more. You know what I mean?
And you know what? I think that might be because even some of the younger males, when I was dating when I was younger, and I'm like, we shouldn't be having this problem.
Hmm.
Either, you know, they either have an oral done or something in order.
Hmm.
And I tell you, ladies, to just be honest. Now, if somebody is doing that to him, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be an issue of getting it up if that's what's going on and that's not something that you do.
Okay. Speaking of porn, like for example, some men, they're accustomed to. We adults here. If you all got any children, you need to tell them to go outside and chase the dog or something. But anyway, but anyway, we're gonna we're gonna train. We're gonna go. We're gonna tie porn. Then we're gonna go to the other little topic. Then we're gonna skip to the main. One good thing, okay? For example, when a man looking at porn and he see another man and this woman performing oral sex on him,
Mm-hmm.
but his woman don't want to do it. What you think about that?
Um, they should have had that discussion before marriage, for one
Okay,
thing.
what about if she could have been doing it before they got married? Because most of the time before people get married, they kind of experiment anyway. Most people they be in experiment doing certain things, but a lot of time, because there's some brothers that say, well, when we got married, she changed up on me. We don't hardly have sex no more. When she used to, go when she don't do the MC light no more. You know what I mean? So what you think about that? His woman don't want to do that to him. What he see on the screen? What you think that's a problem?
It might
First of
be
all,
a problem.
do you think it's wrong? Do you think oral sex is wrong?
And it just ain't my thing. You
Huh?
know, uh, now that with the bed not being defiled, that's sort of iffy because me and one of my other brothers sort of like had this conversation in a
Uh
sense
huh.
before. So now that you know, I'm up in the air about that. That's just not one of my things.
Okay.
And I think a lot of time because of certain people that have actually talked to me and in discussion with things, I think that probably has been a problem, reason why they saying, okay, well, I ain't getting that from her. You know what I'm saying? But see, I think that's why I said those things should actually, if you are in this in a relationship or talking about a relationship, even so before you get deep into it, and you all are both are seeking, a long-term relationship, that should be discussed. And if you are having problems, just say like somebody is having erectional problems, that should be discussed. And I don't think it's a problem with, if that's a problem in order to do anything, that you can maybe implement some toys.
Okay. Well, tell me about this, Angela. Now, there are
Mm-hmm.
some guys that have made this grievance. Some guys have said like the woman she want me to have oral sex on her, but she don't want to have oral sex on me. What you think about that?
Just like I said, you need to have that discussion.
Okay.
Because see, I've been the one that was in that had that problem. My nephew on here. Look, nephew, go sit down somewhere. I know you're an adult, but go sit down somewhere.
But
But I
anyway,
don't even know. I don't even know what that is. But anyway, what is Bluetooth
no, no,
Tony?
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But anyway,
Okay.
Angela,
Yeah.
but if a man and a woman is married and
Hmm.
and she likes him to perform that on her, but he want her to perform it on him, is that wrong?
And it might not be wrong, but ain't enough liquor in the world for me to try to do that, and I don't even drink liquor. I'm just saying.
But
I'm just
is it,
sorry.
some men think that it's selfish. Is it selfish
No,
if he do it to her and but she
if
don't want to
that,
do it to him?
let me tell you something. If they already discuss it, I don't feel like it's selfish before you get in it, because what you already previously knew, you can't make nobody do it. Even though it have been an attempt to, because I was married, child, they want to know I couldn't get drunk enough. I'm just saying. Um, that's just not my thing, but it depends on the individuals. If that's something that they want to do, whether it's right or whether it's wrong, uh, I don't know. I hadn't really did no study on that one biblically. Um, so I think that person, if that's not something that she want to do, he should be able to respect that because it should have been previously discussed in the beginning. That's why I say it's very important to do that because some people have some what I've heard um some different kind of fetishes that it's something else. You know what I'm saying? To each his own. They like different things, and I feel like I wouldn't say judge them or say it's right or wrong, but it's what today liking, and your partner have to agree with that you agree with. If y'all agree with that and it been a discussion, then you should leave it and be satisfied with that. But I always feel like if a person love you, they gonna love you either way. As long as you satisfied, it's not gonna be an issue. And I got my 17-year-old in here. He gonna learn some stuff today. You gonna teach him, bro.
Okay, well, do you think a couple should go talk to their preacher about that issue? Well, do you think they should bring the
If
preacher into
they
it?
if they feel like they have some feelings or they feel like they need to have a discussion with their pastor, then so be it. But I feel like that should be taken care of. That should be able to be handled in just the two of them, because that's bringing actually another party, unless it's something else, into your bedroom.
Okay, Sister Lisa, she want me to discuss.
Man, I did, Lisa.
Yes, Lisa, that's true. The marriage bed is under fire, but that means don't be going the adultery route. That's what that means. But let me tell you this, Sister Lisa, adultery does not just start in the bedroom. Adultery starts in the mind first, because Jesus made a statement. Jesus said, if a man look upon a woman and lust on her, he have
You
already
saying
committed
already.
adultery in his
Mhm.
heart. So some people, they want to break up their relationships and everything because they find out they man been physical intimate with another woman, or vice versa. But all adultery and everything starts in the mind and the heart anyway. And to tell you the truth, Sister Lisa, if every man could read his woman's mind, and if a woman could read her husband's mind, to tell you the truth, Sister Lisa, it would not be a whole bunch of relationships together
It sure would.
today, because men look at other women. Believe me, even if men are married, they're gonna look at other women,
Shoot, women do
and
too.
and women
It,
gonna
it,
look at other men, and you don't know
yeah,
what's going on in your mate mind. You know what I mean? You don't know. So adultery start first before it get to the bed. It starts in the mind. Now,
yeah,
Angela.
but see, not just because somebody look good though, don't mean that you love you just like beauty. Cause see, a man can look good and I can just look at him, but I'm not thinking about I want to be with that man. I'm just talking. This just me. Now, if a man passed by me and he smell good, which I love a good smelling man, I sometimes I had to ask him what in the world you got on. But when I get my man, I can tell him, get him some. You know what I'm saying? What that is. But I just I feel like it should be kept.
Yeah,
You shouldn't bring nobody else unless it's God in that bedroom.
yeah, Michelle, you got a good point. Now, my thing is, you shouldn't take it to the preacher. That should be issue between the woman and the man. They should resolve, because guess what? If you take something like that to the preacher, your preacher might be getting down like that. You know what I mean? You really don't know. But so that should be something between the man and the woman. By the way, Angela, did you ever used to look at that show called The Golden Girls?
Uh-huh.
Thank you
Blanche.
for being a friend. That was Blanche. Blanche was the little hot one, right? And then it was what was Dorothy?
Mm-hmm.
it was Bland Dorothy and Mama. Remember Mama? And then
Sophia.
yeah, Sophia, and then it was Rose. You remember Rose?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Rose, we finna get to the Rose. We about
Oh,
to talk about the
Lord.
Rose. And we ain't talking about the Rose on Golden Girl, but we about to talk about this thing, this big phenomenon called the Rose. Angela, do
Yeah,
you think that a man should have a problem with his woman using the Rose?
I don't know. I got to figure out and look that up because I've been gone. So I had to figure out what the rose is because I have no idea. And y'all don't be laughing at me now. Uh,
What what did
but
what did my niece ask you about it today?
well, she told me that it was made like a rose.
Uh-huh.
And she said it's not it wasn't the male part, and I'm like, that's gonna be a problem because I would be frustrated. You know, I'm just
Okay,
you
it's some sisters on here, they have heard about this Rose thing, you know what I
know,
mean?
I'm just sorry. Maybe I'm just because my daughter was like, Mama, are you serious? Like, you supposed to know or keep up to date with her. Just because I ain't got nobody read, I don't mean I know all that.
Look at Michelle, she wanna know what the Rose is. Okay,
I know, Michelle.
Sister Flo,
Right.
Sister Flo said this the
Oh,
first time she
so
hear
the
about the
so
Rose.
the flow with me too. See, I ain't by myself. I thank you, Lord. I ain't by myself.
Okay. Let me expound to some of you all that do not know about this Rose phenomenon. And like I said, I'm not talking about Rose on the Golden Girls. This Rose, and I'm not trying to sell this product, okay? I'm not trying to sell this product. But I'm bringing this up because this Rose, it's a sexual toy. It's a toy that some women are investing in. It's shaped like a rose, like the flower called a rose, but it is a device that it has a little small hole on the top of it, right? Yeah, look at Angela. It got
Oh,
that right.
okay.
Bring it. That right. Throw your eyebrows up, Angela. It got it's a rose, and on the top part where the pedestal at, it has a small hole on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what some women do, they put that small hole over the clitoris, right? And when they put that over the clitoris, it had like a suction motion, right? It's a suction motion, a little suction vibrating thing, and it causes the woman to blast out to the moon. You know what I mean? And they got different settings, right? It depends on what the woman could tolerate. Now, there are some women that say that know about this little thing called the roll. They said you have to have like a towel or something up under you if you're gonna play with this thing. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a toy that some women get. What do you think women should have toys? By the way, Angela?
And I guess so. If she want one,
Hmm.
to each his
Look,
own. If she
Brother
want
said
one,
she. Brother said
I
she
need to
are.
get. I need to go get me one. No, I'm just playing.
No, you.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
don't take
You
me
you.
seriously
Hey,
now.
you
Look,
one of those
I'm
people
with
that gonna you
look.
don't go on
Uh,
Angela.
I'm with
Don't go on
Marvin
Amazon.
Gaye on this one.
Okay, Angela, don't go on Amazon and order one,
Okay.
okay?
Oh,
Cause you look like you'll do
I ain't.
something like that,
Yeah,
Angela,
look. No, I won't. No, I won't. Look, I'm with
huh?
Marvin Gaye on this one. Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby.
But I agree with that. Now, since we brought up the rose, if a woman, just like I said about the porn part, the
Mm-hmm.
rose and other forms of toys, a woman could get somewhat addicted to the toy instead of her man. You follow what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
some men don't understand the woman body. And the thing about let me tell some of you sisters something,
Well, see,
especially
that's what
married.
you do. You teach him.
Well, you know what? Some women think that a man have a manual, and he know everything to do. Only a woman know what pleases her body. You know what I mean? Men don't
Exactly.
come with no, but some women don't talk. All they do, some of them, they think that the man's supposed to know what to do because he's a man, but every man don't know what a woman like. Some men, they don't even pay attention to the clitoris or the G spot and all that kind of stuff, right? All
Hmm.
they thinking about is the entry part. You know what I mean? And then they
Yeah,
miss
but
it. And then,
that's where you talk, baby. That's where you talk.
but some women don't. What they'll do is they'll go talk to their girlfriends about child. He he thought he was doing something. He wasn't doing nothing. You know what I mean?
And half of them girlfriends got Tom, Dick, Harry, and James over there on the side. See, you don't need to talk now. One of them girlfriends got sidekicks on the side when one ain't ready to deliver, the other one was. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is you have to have that discussion and tell him what you like, how you like it, when you want it, how you want it. I'm one of them. Everybody is not like me. But if you want to keep it right there, you talk to him and tell
Mm-hmm.
him. And if he don't know, do whatever you got to do to get it in place. Or what how you want what you want. You might have to demonstrate.
Well, tell me this. I know you really don't have to say it, but in a woman discussion, when you all talk about men, you ain't got to give out the code, okay? You ain't got to give out no code. Do some women tell other women that he thought he was doing something, but he wasn't about doing nothing? Angela?
Um, that's not usually me, but yeah, a lot of them do.
And then they be, don't they, Angela?
Yeah, but they should have known that in the beginning for the first time, and went on ahead and said, "I ain't gonna be able to do with this." Or, just I think we need to just go our separate ways. Yeah, they do, don't they?
But yeah, tell me
They'll
this,
tell
Angela.
you.
Tell me this. Why do women fake?
Why do they fight?
Yeah, okay, a man and his
Oh,
wife.
they probably
Why do women fake?
some of them probably fake because you ain't doing that. And I'm ready. You hurry up and get it over with.
Why they won't tell the man instead of faking? All that kind of stuff. Why they won't? You know.
Cause you think it might hurt the feeling.
Look at what Michelle said to keep no paying no bills.
No, look, ain't that Michelle? Ain't now gonna pay the bills up in mine unless they don't put me in a place. They can do that. Cause other than that, they gonna want to control my home and my house, and that ain't happening.
You see what?
They can go buy me one and put me in it. Then they can do whatever they want to do.
Let me tell you. You know what? My cousin Connie Watson Bryan, she made a good point. Some men do too. And did you know some men that's in a real relationship, they fake with their wives?
How they supposed to fight?
You didn't know men could fake, did you?
Uh-uh.
You didn't know that, Angela.
Mm-mm.
You know what proof y'all be looking for? You know what proof a wife be looking for?
What?
When a man and his wife they be into that sexual thing. The proof of
Mm-hmm.
a woman, she look for what? She look for the ejaculation. She look for proof of ejaculation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way y'all really know. But some men, if that man did, and I'm just we adults, so let me tell you, some men what they would do if they cannot ejaculate, what they would do. Some men, I'm telling you how some men be talking,
Mm-hmm.
and someone, they would they will withdraw from the woman, have oral sex with her. So if he had oral sex with her, she really can't tell. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because she don't know whether he didn't. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you looking like that, Angela?
Cause I'm interested. I'm up here listening. I'm in class, boo.
Look at your nephew said, "Don't break the man code." I'm not
Look,
breaking, but I'm talking about
look.
so some women they think that they could fake. Men could fake too.
Oh, okay. Well, I just learned something. But see, I forgot my face tell stuff. I had a facial expression where you could tell.
You see what Emmanuel said? Look what Emmanuel said.
Oh, that's my nephew. He need to
I
get
know.
off.
Don't, don't break the man code, but that's that's how it is. But when it comes to toys and porn and stuff like that, now when a man and a woman is married, when a man and woman is married, that man and that woman, like you've been alluding to, that man and woman need to discuss what they like and what they do not like when it comes to
True.
that. They don't need to take it outside their homes to discuss with other people what's going on in their bedroom. Because if you go out there and talk to the wrong person, that other person might say, okay, if he or she not doing it, I do that and I could help with that. You know what I mean?
Or either
Because a
it can
man,
go where they just your business is out there in the street.
yeah, then people be talking about you. You know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, but now we're gonna look at what God think about it.
Okay.
Okay. Do you all remember that first question that I asked earlier uh, during the broadcast? Does God approve of masturbation? Okay, this is the answer. We're gonna go to I got two answers for it. When we go to Genesis 2:18, it say
Mm-hmm.
that then the Lord God said, "It is not good for man to be alone. I will make him a helper suitable for him."
Mm-hmm.
You see? So if a man or man slash woman have a mate, that mate should take care of their sexual gratification. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then there's another part too. It's First Corinthians 8:9. That's again First Corinthians 8:9. It said this for the single brothers and sisters. It said to the unmarried and the widows. A widow is someone
Mm-hmm.
that may have died, husband or wife had died. It said to the unmarried and the widows, I say that it is good for them to remain single. But if they cannot exercise control, they should marry. For it is better to marry than to burn with passion.
Yeah.
So God have answered that question. He answered for the married people. If you marry, this is the thing about the marriage. Here goes another thing. It said, do not deprive one another except, and this is First Corinthians 7:5. First
Mm-hmm.
Corinthians 7:5. It said, do not deprive one another except perhaps by agreement for a limited time that you may devote yourself to prayer, but then come together again so that Satan may not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. So what God have done, God have answered that question. If you're married,
Mm-hmm.
you don't supposed to play games with sex. You supposed to fulfill your mate needs. You can't play like you got no headache. You can't play like you tired and all that kind of stuff. You got to bring it on because when you get married, that's part of the contract. Unless
But
somebody
let me
physical sick.
add this too, though.
What?
Okay, you're right. But let me add this too. Okay, sometimes she might be tired. Now, if the man come in there, if she done had to deal with the kids and work herself and do this, that, and the other, so he should help her take on some of that load so she won't be as tired.
Okay, what is
Because
the
I feel like that's a part of being selfish too. He think after he get off from work, you still see about the kids, fish food or whatever, and you don't think that woman's supposed to be tired, even if she don't have a job. Taking care of children, the household, and paying bills and doing all the other stuff, trying to keep everything together is a full-time job.
Angela? You just said if the woman don't work, that's a full time job. What about if the man he working out the full time job outside?
But that's what I'm saying. He feel like it stops there when the kids come into play. Don't know, but he still got a responsibility when to get to the house. It don't just stop there.
I understand that, but what you saying? You saying that okay, if a woman is not married and she taking care of the children.
I said she married. I ain't said not married now.
I'm talking about if the woman is married, and let's say
Uh-huh.
that she's not working, but she's
Mm-hmm.
married and he's
Mm-hmm.
working,
Mm-hmm.
and they got children. So when he come home, are you saying that she got the right to say I'm tired?
If she's still doing all of it and she's still working after his 8 hours, yeah.
I'm talking about she ain't got no job. She ain't got no job. Her job is in the house.
Let me tell you something. Your job be in the house and you still be tired. I don't know who told you that.
Angela,
What?
Angela,
Yes.
what if
Yes,
that
brother
man
told me.
working? What if that man working hard out there and he tired?
Well, I work hard at home. I did. I did coupon and I had to go
Wait,
three,
wait, wait,
four
wait. What you
stores.
say? Couponing,
That's right. Saving money.
and that you were tired because of
Look,
coupon?
then I had the children pick the children up from school, take them here, take them there. I'm tired.
So what you saying? You're putting the man on the schedule?
He better do something, rub my feet or something and get me in the mood. The struggle real, bro. But I ain't say all the time. But I'm just saying.
So
That
tell
was
me
just
this.
something I decided to throw in there. Because I'm saying I have been so tired that I was just tired from doing everything that I do. Even without a job, you got to realize we still got a job, no matter what. Mamas don't quit. I think we be cleaning this stuff in the sleep.
You
But
almost
anyway,
you almost leaving me speechless. You know that?
don't worry about it. You'll get about 12 o'clock.
Okay. Well, tell me this, Angela. A man
Yes.
and a wife. Should the man always initiate?
No, I feel like she'll be both ways. And I like to initiate. I'm the opposite.
Okay.
Come here, baby, with your fine self. Let me hit you on there behind. Come on. Come on, meet me back there in the bedroom. I got some for you. Mm-hmm.
With your little boots on, right?
Yeah, honey, got my robe on so they can't see what's under there. Yes, baby.
I, I
Surprise!
I hope your daughter ain't looking at this show.
Oh, if
But
it
anyway,
is, they already look. They already know their mama, so it don't even matter. They you be talking about mom too much information. You know, I was open with my children. They just be like, because they don't want to eat that. Like, I can't imagine that in my head. That's just nasty, you know. But I didn't want them to learn from nobody else. More so than, their mama talk to them about certain things that I feel like they can handle it at at the age. You know,
well,
because the girlfriend be talking, telling them this, that, and the other. You want to be the first to tell them the truth.
that was a statement that I asked you earlier, Angela. Well, I made a comment, and now I'm asking the question again. Why is it that some women do not clearly tell the man that they missing the mark? Why do they
Just like
let
I
him?
said, they might don't want to hurt his feelings. Because if he a nice guy and a sweet guy, and that's the only really downfall of you don't want to crush the man.
It's a way you could talk to him, though, Angela.
Yeah, but see, at the time, we ain't think about that.
Huh?
You ain't think about that.
Okay, so do you mean the woman gonna continue to fake and won't tell the man that because of his feelings?
Nah, I just tell you, things ain't working out, especially if they ain't working out nowhere else neither. Just
But
tell them they ain't gonna work. Or You can have, if you love that person enough and that's who you want to be with, then you have the discussion. But if you don't want to be with that person and it was just, now in a marriage you ain't got no choice. You gonna have to,
Okay,
I'm doing
okay.
it
This is
to
what I'm
both
talking
ways.
about. I'm talking about a marriage. Why?
Okay, if they
Okay,
married, you gonna have to. I'm like, we gonna need. You gonna have to have that talk. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can't get around that. You can't go over. You can't go under. You got to deal with it head on, straight up like liquor. You know, you got to make it work.
okay, but okay. Well, tell me this. Why do some women do not? I understand you said you should, but why? And you said that women they don't because of the man feeling. If you never discuss it with that man that his performance is not that good, and because he nice, it's gonna go on and on and on, and then you open the door to something else.
Well, I feel like she should, but why they do it and why they don't now. If they don't, eventually they might have something else in the place of him,
You mean a side guy,
which
a
a
side
side
dude?
guy, or they might have a toy,
They may have a toy, but the man don't know it. That's what you're saying.
uh-huh. They might. That's not my segment of the message though, but that's what I'm saying. That's the only reason. Other than that, because when you love somebody, you need that closeness. That is very important. Intimacy, even in that way, is important. Coming together. So you want to feel that closeness. I ain't saying for nobody to been together and they just coming with each other and they don't have nothing going. But if you love that person, you gonna want that closeness. I don't care what, even if it's just to be held. That type of intimacy, but you're gonna want the other intimacy as well. So therefore, if I want that, because most of you in love, you want that person. You want that person. Nobody else. That's just me. Anyway, if I'm with somebody, I want that person. I don't want nobody else. So that comes wherein we gonna have to have that discussion.
Well, you got a point there. Well, before we get out, it's a question I want to ask. Why do some women punish men with sex? Do you know what I mean by punish?
Yeah, and
I'm
say
talking
I
about
ain't
the
gonna get because you
husband and
ain't did
wife.
what they want you to do.
Yeah, is that
Yeah,
right?
I know what you're
That
talking about.
is it right?
No, it's not right, but I'm guilty. I have done that.
So you played Santa Claus, naughty or nice, Angela?
I did. I did not give up nothing.
Did it work?
Yeah, it did. For me, it did. It don't work. Everything that work for me don't work for everybody else. You got to have that certain charm. It
Let me
worked.
let me tell you this, Angela. Okay, listen. Look at me while I'm talking to you, Angela.
Do I have to? Go ahead. Yeah.
Let me tell you what's up, Angela.
Okay.
If a woman continue to, especially that man's wife, if that man come to his wife and he comes to her for that physical gratification, and she rejects him,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that that testosterone build up in our bodies continuously. Listen to what I'm saying,
Well,
Angela.
he
Look at
wasn't on
me,
punishment that
Angela.
long.
Angela,
Yeah, I'm
listen.
listening. He wasn't.
Okay.
He he
Angela,
wasn't. He wasn't
please.
even that long. Okay.
Okay, Angela. That testosterone builds up in a man's body
Mm-hmm.
continuously. You all have estrogen. We have testosterone, okay, in our body, and it continues to build. If this man coming to his wife and she gonna put the brakes on because it's something that she want him to do or not to do, that's that goes back to 1 Corinthians 7:5. I mean 7:5. 1 Corinthians 7:5,
That's
as it said,
made me mad.
it said, do not deprive one another except perhaps by agreement for a limited time. And then it also skipped to it said that Satan may not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. But let me tell you this, Angela. You see, you don't want to listen to this one. But you see, if a woman hold back, you can put your hand on your hip all you want to. If a woman holds back, the man he got that stuff gonna come out his body one of three ways, Angela. It's gonna be by masturbation, it's going to be by a wet dream, or he going to seek another woman. More than likely, more than likely, I'm not saying it's case, but more than likely, if his wife is not bringing it on, he's going to go to another woman, and when he go to the other woman, his wife going to get angry. Even though it's wrong because she held back, and it's wrong for him going to get another woman. But she contributed to it. So why she want to go to why she want to become a divorced woman? Because he went out there with Maria, and you
But
was
see,
holding
that
back.
there was a time before, I learned some things. But still, if I'm pissed off and you don't piss me off, don't be talking to me, don't be touching me.
It seems like you still got that stuff in you, Andrew.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If I'm upset like that, no,
Mm-hmm.
don't touch me. No, you need to be trying to make up some. Don't be thinking you just gonna get something that look you ain't solved the problem that make me happy, that make me want to. So don't get upset if I ain't getting nothing.
So you believe in that statement called "happy wife, happy life"? You believe that,
I don't know
Angela?
about all that. I just know I wouldn't have at the time.
Look at Sister Flo said Marie may have a Rico. Yeah, but I'm telling you, Angela, that is dangerous. And let me tell you this too, Angela. There are a lot of women that I counsel. One of their
Mm-hmm.
main problem is their husband do not want to touch them.
And why is that?
Some women think that their husband might have an impotent problem. That may be the case, but a lot of times it don't. The man may not have no physical problem. It could be a psychological problem that he have against his wife. Cause
Yeah, true.
he may not be able to ride to the occasion with his wife
True.
because he got a problem with her, and he could go and ride to the occasion with another woman. So that's the first thing most women think. Tony, my husband impotent. How you know he impotent? Well, it won't come up. Why it won't come up? You know what I mean? Because he impotent. You got to.
If he's frustrated, tired, in pain, it ain't going nowhere.
But I'm telling you, Angela, a lot of times, okay, if the man, let's say physical, he may just have a physical problem. He might have diabetes or something like that. But you could go to the doctor
Mm-hmm.
to talk about that and handle that. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's what that man think about that woman that he will. Because when it comes for men, we have to think. We have to look at. We have to say we got to think. Okay, when we think, they kick off some stuff in our body, and that blood flow have to go down to the penis area to cause it to expand. But it starts in the
Mm-hmm.
mind first. Now, if it starts in the mind first, and that man got something against his wife, that could interfere with the physical aspect of the relationship.
Yeah, will. But then see, that's why even if you have some things that you need to discuss among yourself, that's why communication in a relationship is I feel like is very important. Um, because some might not be like me. And I've learned some things even from being married. But since I'm single now, you know, it may not have been right, but I was in my feelings. And I have done that, no. But it wasn't on a regular basis. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure they understood that. Because that had never been a problem. Because most of the time, if that's your mate, they know how to turn you on, you know how to turn them on. You know what gets each other. And then they always knew my weakness, okay? So he already knew what to do if he would. But see, I noticed, and it wasn't nothing. during that time for even when they did go out, to make them go out, because I felt like everything was fine, which nothing was discussed with me. And see, he was more nonverbal, and I was verbal. I tell you where I want to flip it, whatever. I'm very verbal when it comes to in my relationship, which a lot of men are not used to. You ain't got to figure me out, because I'm gonna give you the recipe. To make that cake, to make it happen, to make it solid, make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So, my thing is, on both parties need to have that level of communication. Because, see, growing up, a lot of people have been shamed to discuss, and that's why I said, even while my children were early, I talked to them. Because you should know how to communicate and not have that a hush-hush thing in your household. Because it's they can get themselves in some trouble and in some other things if you don't do the basics and just discuss. That's where I think it starts at. It's not that you don't talk. So they're ashamed. Just like I said, when I used to sell lingerie, and that, whether they was married or non-married, but I would just deal with women on the basis of how to keep your home happy. As far as you, from size small, my lingerie went from small to 5X, and at that time, my breasts were bigger. I was round about the same size, but up here up top, I had a breast reduction. So, but anyway, I tried on the lingerie myself by being heavy to let them feel comfortable in who they are in their own body. Well, cause they wants the lights off. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that, you got to be comfortable within yourself as a woman, no matter what. Because both of y'all have seen each other most of the time without. You should be, no matter what the shape, comfortable with your mate and who they are. And even in your own body, you don't have to be wherein you're ashamed of your body. And they feel like, but they don't sell stuff in my size. What, baby, I got you. And I'm going to tell you what to do to add with it. Because that's going to keep the relationship going. Do something. Don't do the same thing all the time. Use your imagination. Even if it's candlelight dinner or something, you have an imagination of what to do. It don't take a whole lot. But people feel like, oh, I'm tired. It takes. No, it doesn't. If the love is there, y'all love one another, it doesn't. But communication and keeping it spiced up is very important.
I agree with that, Angela. Angela, I really enjoyed having dinner with you and the rest of the family. We really enjoyed you sitting there at the dinner table and chopping it up with us. And hopefully you will be able to
Well,
come, huh? And
I
hopefully
said
you
I enjoyed myself too.
and hopefully you will be able to have some dinner with us another time. And I want you to tell you you were splendid, sister. I love you. And the rest of you brothers and sisters, thank you all so much for being a part of this broadcast. Sister Angela Bronner, have you started your podcast again?
We were supposed to did one last week, but we had to postpone. We gonna get there and get it hopefully next week.
Okay, you all go to Angela Bronner's page and
Yeah,
check
send
out.
my friend request.
Yeah, send Angela Bronner a friend request because she's gonna go back on live. Your daughter's gonna be on there with you too.
Yeah, sometimes she may, even though because I told her she need to be because that's how it started out to be. But sometimes it may just be me because I got some
Yeah,
people, a couple of people that's already lined up and they're ready.
okay. And it's gonna be called Unscripted again.
Real talk unscripted.
All right, you all heard it live from Angela Bronner. Thank you, brothers and sisters. I hope that you all got a good feeling tonight. We're about to move into the weekend. We will see you all later. Peace. out.